Thank you, Mr Assistant President. I move item number
3157.
3157 standing in my name, and I don't intend to take a long time to do so. But once again, we don't need to be here. This is information that we sought some time ago. Some time ago we sought this information and we're told with a response that, yeah, we're happy to be open and transparent. Now, I did spend a little bit of time on the government bench when these guys were in opposition, and we heard a lot of noise about transparency and secret, that we were being secretive, and there was a lot of noise about that. And yet what we're seeing from this side is significantly worse than what was being criticised when we were in government. So 6 weeks ago, so what we're talking about here is a project, a proposal to see the capacity of Burrendong Dam raised from where it is now to 120%, and that be the new 100% zone. Now, the fact that I suspect this SO52 will be supported by people who would oppose that proposal, I think speaks a lot to the lack of transparency we're seeing repeatedly from this government. 6 weeks ago, we asked a question about this. We asked for some information around this, and we were told that that would be shared. We've put the supplementary question for a written answer, so it would come the next day. At that time, we were told, oh, okay, we'll get you a briefing. Then we were told we'd get a briefing, and that briefing was moved, and then we eventually had that briefing. Don't forget, this was 6 weeks ago this was first offered. We were told that we would have that briefing, and even in that briefing, we got no information. A lot of that stuff was then taken on notice. Information we still don't have. So for 6 weeks we've been chasing this information, and the lack of that is what has drawn us here today. What makes this even more unimpressive is the fact that this is information that one would have thought had to be on hand. How can you make decisions to rule out a proposal without having the information to back that up? And that was purely the information that we were after. At some time we were given some information with a bit of background paper and that sort of stuff, but that was information that we were not to share with the government. And we appreciate being given that insight, but it's not us that needs to be convinced about this proposal. There are people along the river who need to know why this proposal that they were in favour of has been knocked out. Communities along the Macquarie River who rely on this water, the irrigators who depend on this water to feed and clothe the country. It's the local councils who know just how important critical water needs are to their communities. And it's the general public, the people of regional New South Wales, that this government needs to come clean with. The other problem with the documents that we have got, the minimal information that we have got, is it doesn't answer the questions that were asked. How did the department come to the conclusion that this proposal was going to have, on average, a 5% reduction of flows to the Macquarie River? This is a number that's been panned by many people who live and breathe in this catchment, that have been there their entire lives. What is this 5%? Is it annualised? Is it weighed against having water in the Macquarie marshes in drier times? No one knows. And more than that, no one knows what they're actually modelling against. What is the actual proposal? How much water are they talking about holding back? No one can tell us that. How does this information not on hand before this decision is made? Of course, we're going to look more into this. We've been waiting 6 weeks for this information, and it's information that can't come back. The lack of clarity, the lack of answers that we got from that briefing was incredible. Just simple questions, as I say, about the size of the storage. So here we are again with no option than to go down the SO52 path. And it's the only tool we have left. We need this information. The people of the Macquarie Valley want this information, and that's why we're here today, and I commend this motion to the House.
Minister Jackson.